Hello, everyone. If you didn't know by this point, I'm Anthropomantic Fiend, and I do horror-related things on the internet. And I just randomly decided that I hadn't done a Hangout stream in a while, so I am doing one now, because what the hell. So if anybody wants to join me on screen, let me know, or if you just want to chat with me in the chat, also let me know. I'm probably only going to be doing this for an hour or 50 minutes or so. It's not going to be a long thing, but despite doing 2 streams this past week, I wanted to do one of these again because I just have not streamed in a while. So excuse me while I send some links to some people just to let them know that I'm streaming. And if you are watching, just please show yourself in the comments and say hi and we'll talk. I see we have one person here. Hello, whoever you may be. I never mind, Cody. I'm always happy when you stop by. How's it going? I feel you on the writer's block. I've been working on some writing myself lately, working on a kind of a high fantasy novel that I've been working on since friggin' middle school. I've been drafting this thing since middle school, and I still haven't finished it, and I keep rewriting it because I keep hating the beginning that I come up with. I like my middle section, but I hate the way my story starts. Everybody hates on their endings, which I have not gotten to. I hate my beginning so much, so I keep just rewriting it and rewriting it and rewriting it. So we'll see what happens with that, but I'm hoping something good comes of it. And I will send you a link in a moment if you want to come on. Ah, crap, Maddie. I'm sorry. But I'll do my best to have a good stream. I hope all is well at work or as well as it can be. I still need to read the beginning of your story, Cody. I'm sorry I've not gotten around to that just yet, but I'm gonna do it, I promise. But just the idea of a Return to the Living Dead Reanimator crossover in general is really cool, so props for coming up with that. So if there's anything that anyone wants to talk about, just let me know. Hey Ben, hello, my enemy. How's it going? Let me know if you've watched anything cool recently. And also, I desperately want all of the Bram Stoker's Dracula Funko Pops that you posted in the Discord server. But I'm probably not going to buy any of them because I really don't need them. I just want them. I did not think this through. I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about right now. We have 4 people watching. Hello, 4 people, whoever you are. The new ones you posted or other new Dracula Funko Pops? Because no, I didn't. Hey, Cody.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Not too much at the moment, just chilling after a day of stuff.
I hear you.
The new ones you posted or other new Dracula Funko Pops? Because no, I didn't. Hey, Cody.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Ooh, it's Luke. Person is gone. What happens? Cody, come back. I hope Cody comes back, but yeah, Dracula Funko Pops. I want, but cannot have. Cody!
Am I back yet? Okay,
Yes,
that was
you
my accident. I feel so stupid right now on the live stream. Like, my freaking computer was acting up and it just, like, X'd me out. That was
Nah, that happens all the time. I was on a stream once where every person got booted off the stream at least once. It was crazy.
Yeah, man. I love my computer, but I hate it at the same time because it makes me look stupid.
I feel you on that on so many different levels. I've been fighting with this computer for weeks, especially in uploading videos. It's like a different thing goes wrong every single time, and ugh.
You just want to smash it, but at the same time, you kind of need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got that defense of you can't kill me because you need me.
Exactly, and yeah. But I'm glad that you did another review today on that book that you did. Was it your brother that wrote that thing, or was it?
It was my cousin. I haven't really seen him in person, at least I don't think, for like years and years and years. So yeah, he sent me that as a graduation present back in the fall, and it's awesome.
That is awesome, dude. That you got like relatives that are also interested in the same thing you are, and that's awesome. My relatives, not so much. My relatives kind of treat me like the black sheep. Like, oh yeah, he's into that weird Lovecraft stuff.
Right. I'm a bit of a weirdo in my family, but we're all kind of nerdy in some way, especially like my nearest relatives, like my mom and my dad and my sister. We're not, I don't know anybody in my family who's as hardcore into the weird horror stuff as me, but I can connect with everybody on like little things at least.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that one. I connect to a lot of weird stuff than I do normal stuff. I don't know if it's because of my OCD or my autism, but I've always liked the weird, morbid stuff rather than everyday stuff.
Right. Same here. Although when I was really little, I was like the sporty kid. I was just I liked spherical objects for some reason, so I liked all of the sports. And then in kindergarten, some kind of switch flipped in my head, and suddenly it was monsters from there on out. I don't even know.
Yeah, dude. Like when I was like 5 or 6, that's all I watched was like Boris Karloff, Frankenstein, and Dracula, and just all that other Universal stuff.
Yeah, the Universal monsters were my gateway to. I actually started with like the silent movies, like the John Barrymore, Jekyll and Hyde, and the Lon Chaney Phantom of the Opera, and then we moved on to like Dracula and Frankenstein, etc., and then moved into like 50s horror, and I've just been like moving forward in the history of horror ever since.
Yeah, man, like that's how it was for me, because I thought it was weird though, because my mom would like forbade me from watching Halloween or Nightmare on Elm Street, but she had no issue with me watching the monster movies. But I'm like, people are getting killed in them in both films, so like, what's the difference?
Well, I mean, gore and nudity is the big difference.
Yeah, that's true.
But I get what you're saying. I was a little bit of a I was a bit sensitive, still kind of am. So I was not as into the gore and stuff when I was younger. I've grown to appreciate it, but I wasn't as keen on the slasher movies. It was very much the monsters and the gothic horror when I was little.
Yeah. Speaking of gothic horror, you said that you mentioned this in it was the live stream you did with the girl with the Wolfman live stream. I forgot her name.
With Queenie.
Queenie, yes. I sent her a message too saying hope she was well. You kind of mentioned that you loved Lovecraft as a writer, but not so much as an individual.
That's very much true.
Which I don't blame you for, because the guy was very xenophobic. He wasn't very social. Didn't really like people in general.
Right.
Really. I mean, he lived with his 2 aunts, as embarrassing as that sounds. But I'm like, I'm one to talk because I live with my folks, and I'm like 25, so I'm one to talk. But yeah, he did have racial views, which was messed up. And I think, again, people are going to debate me on this, but I think when the guy was like on his deathbed, I think he actually was starting to regret the way he was raised and the perspectives he had.
Awesome. I mean, maybe, but I mean, most of the people around him didn't even share his views. He was just a really, really sheltered guy. I almost feel sorry for him, but he was just so hateful that, yeah, his wife would like tell him to calm down, and Marty from the Trash Picture Show likes to tell the story about how his friend Robert E. Howard, also a great writer, had to pull him away from this bar because he was about to get beat up in this bar fight because he insulted some people who he didn't like the looks of.
Yeah, and wasn't his wife Jewish? And I thought, well, that's kind of strange that he's a racist, yet was in a relationship with someone that he would not like. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know totally what his views were. I just know he was very sheltered and freaked out by just about everything in the world. But his just views on everything because of that were so venomous that I can't really sympathize with him because of that. Hey, Cole.
What's up,
Not really watching anything tonight, but this morning I rewatched The Craft with director's commentary, which was cool. And I watched an episode of Gargoyles this afternoon.
Nice.
Hey, Brandon. How's it going?
Oh, speaking of The Craft, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to assume you saw the sequel.
Yes, and I liked it in spite of its flaws. It made my top 10 horror movies of 2020 list.
Yes, I mean, I liked it too. I mean, it was different from the first, which I guess was good because you want to be different.
Yeah.
But for those of you who have not seen it, I highly suggest that you don't listen to anything I say right now. But for those of you who have seen it, and including you, Fiend, I have a big question for you, and I would love to know your answer to it. Who do you think is the father of Nancy's child, Lilith?
I think it's Mano, the spirit.
Oh, so she's like almost like a Christ-like thing, almost like a demigod type thing.
Yeah. It's like a Jesus baby situation.
You got like a witch baby god thing going on. No. That would be interesting. That would actually be an awesome twist, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I hope, because Zoe Lister-Jones, the director, said she wanted to make a sequel. I hope they get to make one because I liked the movie. It was not nearly fleshed out enough, and making a sequel would let them flesh out the story and the characters a lot more and fix a lot of the issues I had with the movie, even though I did like it.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully we get to learn more and more stuff's fleshed out and just we get to know more in general, really.
Yeah.
So, you see any good movies this month? Any recommendations or?
Let me think. Not too long ago, I watched the movie 1BR on Netflix. That movie is messed up and amazing. Have you seen that movie?
Regrettably, I have not, but I probably need to get to it now.
It's great. I don't want to tell you too much. It's just basic setup is this girl that goes into this. She moves into a new apartment complex, and her neighbors are very, very friendly. But she gets the sense that something is very, very wrong there. And I'm not going to tell you what, but things just spiral downward really fast. And it's really creepy and messed up, but the ending is somewhat satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this movie you're talking about, but it kind of has like similar themes from that 70s flick, The Sentinel.
Sentinel. Remind me.
Oh, The Sentinel was about a girl who like moves into an apartment and she sees these people that live there that are nice but kind of odd, and then it's revealed that she's really the only one there other than a blind priest who lives above her, and it's revealed that all the people that she's been seeing are denizens of hell, essentially. Basically, the apartment is hell.
Wow. I will tell you that that's not the twist that happens in this movie. It takes a very different, very disturbing direction. But I thought it was going to be a ghost movie just based on the cover. I'll tell you right up front, it's not a ghost movie.
That thank you for clearing that up. That way I know that I'm going to expect something different than it being a religious satanic thing.
Mm-hmm. Although there is some kind of creepy, like, stigmata Christ imagery in the movie in a weird way.
That's creepy shit in real life, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Cole. I said that already, but yes, Saint Maud. I have seen the trailer for that movie. That thing looks disturbing. I want to see it, but I also don't want to see it because I always know that those movies hurt my soul, even though they're beautifully crafted. Most of the horror movies I've seen from A24 are like that. I can watch The Witch and The Lighthouse on repeat. Those movies are delightful. Well, not delightful. The Lighthouse is delightful in a weird way. The Witch is just bleak but awesome.
Yeah, it's got that really dark bleakness to it, which I think appeals to a lot of Gothic fans.
For sure. It's very Gothic and very period accurate, and it has that kind of downtrodden religious flavor to it. I didn't know that. I didn't hear that about Clive Barker. I know there's been a lot of kind of Hellraiser's rights things floating around recently.
Oh, yeah.
There was a Books of Blood movie that came out last year, and I love that story collection, but I had no idea if that, I think it was an anthology movie, was any good or not. And hi, Mayor. Yeah, it's a song by Judas Priest, and one I have not heard for a while. I need to go back and listen to some classic Priest, because they're amazing. And I need to check out the movie. Oh, and yes, Ben, Willy's Wonderland, a, like, Chuck E. Cheese, Five Nights at Freddy's-esque piece of madness starring Nicolas Cage. That's never not going to be fun. Yeah.
Only he could get into a movie like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to love that.
Let's see. I was gonna ask something, but I can't even remember now because my brain's gone dead. Let's see. Oh, did you hear about like the whole Jason Voorhees rights issue thing?
Oh, that's been going on forever, hasn't it?
And now they're gonna make it. Now they're thinking about making a decision to just kill the character off permanently, essentially. And I'm like, you've already tried that like twice. You tried that in the '80s. Corey Feldman killed him. That didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, it totally worked. They totally destroyed his face, but then they Frankensteined him back later.
And then you turn him into this possessing demon-like thing in Part 9. That was supposed to be the last one. That didn't work, obviously. You know.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, they literally called Part 4 the final chapter because it was supposed to be the final chapter, but then, of course, it was not.
Because the fans love the character and they want to see more of the dude.
Of course, of course. I mean, as much as I love just the imposing figure of Jason and the creative kills and stuff, my draw for my favorite Friday the 13th movies is the other characters. Like, especially Crispin Glover's character in Part 4. Best dance moves ever.
Oh my God. Like, was that choreographed or was that something he did himself without any direction?
That was totally just him. According to the director, he was just doing that dance in clubs at the time because he could.
Like, my God, can you imagine if people were like, said, what is he doing? Like, you know, like people in clubs complaining about him saying,
Yeah, and apparently it wasn't the song that they played in the movie that he was dancing to. He was dancing to Back in Black by AC/DC on set, actually.
That actually makes a little bit more sense for why he was moving a little bit like that, possibly, if that's what he was listening to.
But there's a fan commentary by Adam Green and Joe Lynch on the copy of the movie that I have, which I watched recently, and he said I think it was Joe Lynch, said that he had his, like, Wizard of Oz Dark Side of the Moon moment where he synced up Crispin Glover dancing with Back in Black, and it fits like a glove, apparently, so that has to be cool.
Oh, yeah, man, that's awesome. It's a shame that we don't really see more of him nowadays, Crispin Glover, because...
Yeah.
I mean, he's in that weird, that cool show, American Gods, where he plays like one of the new gods.
No, he's in American Gods. I love the book American Gods. I haven't seen the show yet, though.
He's pretty intimidating, but also a little creepy. But then again, that's how he is, kind of, to begin with.
One of my earliest things I saw him in was actually Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland as the Knave of Hearts, and he's very creepy in that, and I love him.
You think Tim Burton hired him directly for that reason? Because he's just kind of weird in general?
Probably. And I love him in the remake of Willard. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah, man. I watched that when I was like really too young.
Oh, God.
It's kind of sad, really, rather than scary, because the guy's literally got no friends. It's
a really depressing movie. Oh, my God. Sorry. Continue.
It's okay. I kind of saw that someone was coming in like, oh, you might want to turn your camera off. Like,
yeah. Cole, please link me to that Facebook page. I need that in my life. That sounds amazing. Bring back Pamela Voorhees. That would be interesting. She's actually my favorite killer in the franchise so far, because I have not seen all of the Friday movies yet. I'm working my way through them. But as cool as Jason is, Pamela is the more interesting character to me.
I do agree, but there is something I wish that they would clear up, which they have tried to do but failed, would be who the hell was his father?
They've talked about that a little bit, but frankly, I don't care personally.
Yeah, he was probably just some football player that screwed Pamela Voorhees when she was younger and left and didn't really give a shit. Probably didn't give a shit as soon as he saw the baby.
Yeah, he was probably just a shitty dad who didn't care as soon as he saw his son's face.
He's like, of all the kids that I could have gave birth to, I gave birth to this little bastard.
But that's the thing I love about Pamela is she's got this unconditional love for her son, and it's so strong that it results in her massacring a bunch of people who don't really deserve it, but it's in the name of love.
Love and hate are like the strongest emotions in humanity, dude. Like all the horrible things that we can do are based in one of those emotions.
Oh, the mayor says his father is in one of the fan films. Which fan film? I'm curious. Oh, Ben says his dad was Sloth from the Goonies. That would make sense.
There's Jason's father right there in the Goonies.
Yeah. I have not seen anything past 1 through 4, so we will have to see Interrupt Kaiju, but I think I'm going to love Jason X just based on the clips I've seen. That movie seems delightful.
Oh, it is. I can guarantee you.
I feel like I was saying something before we got off on the Friday the 13th tangent, and now I do not remember what it was.
Oh, now you're going brain dead like I am.
Yeah. We're all going brain dead at this point.
Well, yeah, like you're like Freddy now from Eternal Living Dead when his brain finally shuts down and then his eyes reopen and then he's like all full on zombie at that point.
Mm-hmm.
What role? Oh, sorry, dude.
Go on.
What role would you play in Return of the Living Dead if you could? Like, which character would you, if you were interested in playing a character from the film?
I mean, Trash is the coolest character in the film, but I do not have the body to play Trash, so
True.
Trash is out. I would probably play one of the Morticians, either Bert or Ernie.
Oh, you would be fantastic as Ernie. Because Ernie was just sort of a creepy dude to begin with, really, with the whole Nazi vibe that you see around.
Oh God, is there a Nazi vibe? I missed that.
Well, a lot of people did. It was said in the documentary about his character. Well, first off, he has a German-based gun, that's made in Germany, and he's listening to Nazi anthem when he's working on a dead body. It's like the Nazi march music.
Oh God!
And his name is Ernest Cal. I can't even pronounce his last name, but it's German. And the actor Don Calfa said that he was a Nazi commandant that was executed during, the fall of Hitler's rise. So the name legit belongs to a Nazi in real life.
Ugh. I mean, Nazi stuff just sometimes it's like important to the story, but usually if you throw it in a horror movie, especially a horror comedy, it just makes me uncomfortable. That's why I had a hard time having fun with a movie like Dead Snow. Have you seen Dead Snow?
I saw clips of it, and while it is pretty, I guess it's good for the gore fans, but the origin of how these Nazis supposedly became undead just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, apparently there's like a folklore connection. They're not straight up zombies, but they're like these Norwegian spirits at the same time. So I don't know.
That's interesting. There's almost like a cross between cultures almost.
Yep. You like the whole series, Mayor. Are there more than 2? And what are your thoughts on the second one? Because I've heard very mixed things on Red vs. Dead, and I do not know if I want to see it. I appreciated the first one for what it was. Wasn't totally my thing, but really good gore effects, for sure. And Return of the Living Dead definitely has to be one of my favorite zombie movies, at least.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it was something new back in the 80s, because before that, it was just Romero stuff. And I don't want to say this, but I think fans were getting a little numb to it before Return of the Living Dead. They were like, we've seen this. We know the rules. There's nothing new to it. But it changed.
Right. I have personal connection to Return of the Living Dead in a weird way because it is supposedly set in Louisville, Kentucky. I live in Louisville, Kentucky, so I'm proud to say that my city gets nuked in Return of the Living Dead.
I remember you said on the live, and I said that it was nice knowing you because, the nuke's coming.
Yeah. Hey, Crypt. We're just chatting currently on zombie movies at the moment. What's up at the moment with you, Crypt? Anyway. Like Enroy Kaji was saying, a lot of people's favorite is 6 of the Friday the 13th movies, which I've heard quite a bit as well, because that's Jason Lives, right?
Yes. That's when he first becomes a supernatural being at that point.
Mm-hmm. Which sounds fun.
Well, of course.
And yes, the script is gold. There's just so many brilliant one-liners in Return of the Living Dead. I'm trying to remember. There's one scene where, it's... Crap, what's the guy who runs the mortuary? Not Bert or Ernie.
Oh, the guy that runs the mortuary, in the graveyard, is Ernie. I believe.
It's crap. He's the guy who goes down to the tank at the beginning of the film where Tarman is.
Oh, that's the warehouse worker, Frank.
Warehouse worker, yeah, thank you. Oh, part 2 is in English? What the hell? That feels weird.
I guess us Americans were complaining about saying we couldn't understand it, so they made it.
People can't read subtitles. Come on. I mean, some people do have eyesight problems and can't read subtitles, but maybe they can make a dub, but they shouldn't sacrifice what they originally had for that. Yes, rabid weasels. Exactly.
Rabid, I gotta ask that must have been written in the script. Otherwise, it was had to have been.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But I like. Oh,
there,
sorry.
I'm also wondering if there could have been some ad libs from some of the actors in the movie, because all of them do just seem like they're really funny people in general. So maybe there were some improv lines. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of improv, I know a story that you will like that happened on set that almost resulted in a fight, actually, like a physical altercation. Okay, you know the character of Spider, who's the African American punk with the hair. Well, when he's crying and freaking out about his friend Freddy being one of the zombies, Ernie goes up to him, and in the script, he slaps him once to knock him out of it, but the actor Don was holding back. So the actor who played Bert says, slap him once, but then hit him twice. That way he won't see it coming. You know, so they did it again. Don, as Ernie, went up to Spider, slapped him once, but then he slapped him twice. And the actor who plays Spider stayed in character until they yelled cut. But as soon as that happened, the actor charged Don.
Oh, God. I mean, I would. I totally would.
You know, and then they had to like separate them for a while because things were getting kind of. But they eventually said, you know, it was good, it worked, so I'll forget about it. I won't hold it against you.
Yeah, that's what I heard, Mayor. That the director also made Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, and that is a movie that I just hear about a bunch, but I've never really been motivated to see it, and I just don't know anything about it. Is it good? I don't know.
Is it good? I don't know. I saw it once. I never saw it twice. I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about that, really.
Did you see Gretel and Hansel, the movie that came out last year?
No, unfortunately I didn't, but I heard that it was very dark.
It was, and it was a beautifully shot movie. It was directed by Osgood Perkins, who did The Black Coat's Daughter, which is another creepy, atmospheric, kind of slow burn horror movie. It was an A24 film, but it has a similar atmosphere to something like The Witch, but with a little bit more of a fantasy edge in some ways, and not as period specific. It feels like a fairy tale, just a very dark fairy tale, and I love it so much.
I gotta see it then.
Yeah, please do. Evening Genome. Yeah, it seems like a really, really fun atmosphere, and as you said, Linnea is a goddess. I love her in everything I've seen her in, which admittedly isn't much, but I love her in Return of the Living Dead. She's amazing in Night of the Demons, just because she's playing kind of with a similar attitude, but almost like the opposite character of Trash, which is fun.
Oh, yes, man. I was like 6 years old when I saw her on screen.
Oh, my God. Really?
It was my dad's idea. My dad had it on tape. And he says, oh, I think you're like this. This has got like zombies in it and people getting their brains eaten out. And let me tell you something. When I saw that Tar Man on screen for the first time, I cried my fucking eyes out.
Oh, God. The first time I saw Night of the Living Dead, we actually couldn't finish it. My dad put on Night of the Living Dead and we watched that together. And before Barbara had even reached the house, I was sobbing and we had to turn the movie off.
Because her brother's been killed and she's being chased by this. You don't even know what's going on as the audience. Like, all you know is some crazy old dude just attacked her brother. You don't know anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I had only ever seen, like, the Universal Monster movies and some silent horror up to that point. That was a new level of dark and bleak and unrelenting that I had not experienced yet. And I was not ready.
Me neither.
Trash is an absolute icon for sure.
Oh yeah, she's my little project right now with my fanfic with Herbert West. At the hardest part is like getting her personality on check, because her personality kind of switches actually in Return of the Living Dead. Like, first she's like this very nihilistic, death worshipping punk, you know, and then as soon as she sees the real shit, she kind of acts like a regular person, is freaked out.
Well, that's the thing. She's got this very sort of tough, like you said, sort of nihilistic perverse exterior, but she's a good-hearted person, and that's just kind of her. Again, that's her fantasy. It's a fantasy. That's exactly what it is. She talks about fantasizing, but it's nothing more than that. It's more. It's just. Yeah, it's. God, I can't words anymore.
I can't either, man. I agree with you that there's two sides to every character, in my opinion. There's the outside exterior, and then there's the inner exterior.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, is there a toy form of Suicide's car? Because, oh, there's a video. Nice. Yeah, I had heard that, Genome, that she was just one of the souls at the end of Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Yes, take notes, Sadie. I've not seen that movie, Mayor. Is it good? Have you seen The Horde before? Mayor is asking about it. Yeah.
The Horde? What year was it made?
I'm not sure. He just says it's a French zombie movie. Linnea did own the 80s. Absolutely. Yeah, cool.
The Horde. I don't believe I have because I'm not even familiar with the film. So I gotta watch that one too, apparently.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen a ton of zombie movies, but I don't consider them like my go-to monsters, but I like most of the zombie movies I have seen. Night of the Living Dead, Return to the Living Dead are both just really, really important movies to me in some ways. Anna and the Apocalypse is one of my favorite movies of all time. Have you... Oh, you were there for the watch stream for that, weren't you?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie. I do not shut up about it, and I'm sure some people are like probably annoyed by me not shutting up about Anna and the Apocalypse.
That's the fear I have about myself when I talk about my favorite films, because because God knows I've mentioned Reanimator like tons of times, probably times that I shouldn't have. And I know how some people can get a little annoyed and be like, dude, I know you love it, but don't you ever talk about anything else? And I'm like, it's what I love. You don't have to like it yourself, but I have a right to talk about my love about it.
Right. The thing I love about you is that you always find a way, no matter what franchise or movie we're talking about, to tie everything back into the Cthulhu mythos.
Yeah, I have a habit of doing that. I just feel like it's territory explored enough, really, not in films.
Well, it's hard to explore in films because it's very intangible.
Yeah, that's that. Then again, that's the whole point of his universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's beyond your eyes to see, apparently.
Yep. But did you see The Lighthouse?
I did, and it creeped me out. Like,
yeah. I think it does, if you interpret it as cosmic and not like psychological, it does that really well because you only see glimpses of these like godlike sea monster beings. We don't know quite what they are. Is it this Lovecraftian thing? Is it the gods of the sea? Is it all in Robert Pattinson's head? You don't really know. And Robert Eggers talked about loving the writings of Lovecraft, but always being like, as soon as you get to the end of the story and there's all this weird stuff going on that's making your head spin, you're like, oh, everything's a Dagon cult. Wow, what a surprise. So he wanted all the questions to be left unanswered by the end of the movie.
The creepiest part was when he touched that light thing and it looked like he was having a freaking orgasm. Almost or something.
He does have some orgasms in the movie, and they're creepy. But yeah, that ending of the movie where they totally just distort all the audio as well. It's crazy.
Yeah, audio distortion freaks me out.
Max is here. Hey kids, school isn't boring anymore, is it? It's one of my favorite quotes from Anna and the Apocalypse, followed, of course, by, I've been calling you all zombies for years. Now fuck off. I haven't seen Underwater yet, Ben. I've heard it's good.
Underwater. I think I've seen that. I just gotta look it up.
Mm-hmm. You're not fond of William Dafoe's Lobster. You do not insult Willem Dafoe's cooking. That's the one thing you don't do, or he will call upon Triton to strike you down.
Yeah, because that whole monologue, that's like, what is that? Like a 5-minute monologue or 10 minutes? Like
it's not that long, but it's like one shot, and he doesn't blink once.
That's the part that creeps me out about him, is how he can just keep his eyes open for so long.
Yeah. It's a testament to his great acting. And he does a monologue while he's having dirt shoveled over him at the end of the movie, too.
Oh, God.
And it's going into his mouth while he's trying to monologue.
I'm surprised he's like, fuck this shit, cut. You know, like...
Right. Well, they shot that... They shot that scene first to get it out of the way because they knew everybody was going to hate doing that. And apparently just weather conditions were god-awful and everybody hated themselves while they were doing it. But movie is still amazing.
Yeah, it's still good. It's unique.
Yeah, I've heard Underwater has some Lovecraftian elements to it. I do want to see it. I've heard it is very good.
I liked it a little bit. I wouldn't say I was like a mega fan of it because there were some things I think they could have done better, but I'm not going to say what they are because you haven't seen it.
All right. And the mayor's annoyed at all the posts about Psycho Gorman. I can tell that that's very much not your thing, and you'd be annoyed by people worshiping it. It looks like my thing. I'm going to try to see it at some point because it sounds just like the kind of campy thing I would love. But definitely not your thing, Mayor. Although your tastes tend to vary quite a bit. You have very specific tastes, which I think is interesting. You've surprised me sometimes with things you like and don't like, but that's just humans.
I recently saw the trailer for Psycho Gorman, and this is probably going to annoy your friend Mayo, but I'm already kind of into it. I already want to see what this guy's about.
Well, I don't think it's going to annoy him. I think he's just annoyed that everybody is loving it and like any naysayers are just getting like trampled because everybody has a right to their own opinion on stuff.
I mean, yeah, of course. It's just, like when I'm sitting next to someone who's annoyed about a certain movie and then I watch the trailer for it and then I'm like, I think I might actually like this if I see it.
Right.
And there's already like now that person is even more upset, because now the person next to them likes it a little more.
Mm-hmm. And I find it interesting that sometimes I'll watch a review of a movie where someone trashes it, and then I'll end up watching the movie anyway. And because my expectations have been set so low, I end up loving the movie. Because it surprises me.
That happens to me a lot.
Mm-hmm. And Ben, I'm going to be, after I finish my little Vestron series of reviews, I got a little box set from Collector Man, an 8-movie set. I'm going to review that. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to be probably getting copies of both versions of Castle Freak and reviewing both of them, and also reviewing the movie Mr. Sardonicus, which is my favorite William Castle movie.
Nice. But I'm glad you brought up Castle Freak, because I actually recently, this is going to sound sad, but I did not see the original for a long time.
Dude, I'm the sad one here. I haven't seen the original yet.
But you saw the remake.
No, I haven't seen either version yet.
But in my opinion, both are equally good. One's a little bit more Lovecraftian than the other. But Jeffrey Combs' performance in the first one just reels me in.
I mean, Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, Stuart Gordon. I'm in. Because, I mean, if that formula works for Reanimator, I am positive it's going to work for Castle Freak.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And Jeffrey Combs, in my opinion, I feel like he's a little bit underappreciated in the acting industry, you know, because they just want him playing these weird, morbid dudes all the time, and they never want to, like, extend his range.
Mm-hmm. You watch horror movies if they get bad reviews. I usually just watch old movies, and then if someone recommends me something that happens to be on a streaming service I have, I'll watch that. Like if Girly Gore watches something and she ends up liking it, I will watch basically anything she recommends. I really trust her judgment, although I don't always agree. But yeah. Watch the remake before the original. That wasn't my original plan, because I'm definitely going to be reviewing the first one first, but that might be an interesting way to do it. Yeah, I can tell that annoying kids and reject Power Rangers villains are not your thing. I'm curious what you enjoyed about the first 10 minutes, but I also don't want to spoil it for myself. And I still need to watch a lot more Full Moon, because as of now, I've seen the first Killjoy movie. I've seen Reanimator, which is technically like early Charles Band, I think, pre it being called Full Moon, and I've seen Bride of Reanimator, and that's basically it. I'm going to get the Puppet Master movies and the Subspecies movies and watch those, and I'm going to watch Castle Freak, because I know I'm going to love those. But yeah, I need to get into Full Moon more.
Definitely, especially on Puppet Masters, because that was another Full Moon franchise I grew up on.
Mm-hmm. I have not ever watched the video of David Lynch making rice. That sounds very David Lynch.
He's a brilliant writer and director, but I feel like he's got some issues in his mind that he doesn't want to talk about.
Oh, I think he puts all those issues into his movies and just doesn't explain them.
Yeah.
Hey, Trenchy. Well, given that the title is Psycho Gorman, I'm good with that. All the Full Moons are on Tubi TV. Yeah, I saw that. Most of them are hosted by William Shatner on Tubi, which I find weird.
Oh, I remember him. Me and my dad used to watch him late at night hosting him.
Only seen the first 9. What do you mean only? That's 9 movies. And how many other Puppet Masters are there after the first 9?
Oh my god, dude. It's going to take you at least a month, I think, to get through all of them.
Yeah, I picked up the 8-movie Friday the 13th collection, so that's my current binge. I need to watch the Wreck franchise. That's also on my list. I'm going to watch Blair Witch 1 and 2 at some point. I'm going to watch... and then I'm probably going to dive into Puppet Master and Subspecies. Those are my current, like, series binges that I'm trying to do. He does a weather report every day. Does he do these on YouTube? Where does David Lynch do all this stuff? I need to check this out.
Perfect job. Perfect side job for him as the weatherman.
Mm-hmm. And a new number of the day, which is interesting. Too many. I mean, I feel like Full Moon is very much quantity over quality, but the first Puppet Master seems like a legitimately amazing movie.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. And isn't Littlest Reich technically like bootleg Full Moon, Ben? YouTube, all right. 14, Trenchy, my God. And there's Blitzkrieg of Blood and the Blade spinoff. Oh my God. Guys, calm down, Full Moon.
Oh, speaking of Blade the puppet, you actually kind of remind me of him regarding your hat and dark clothing, because that's what he wears.
I kind of see that. Evil Stevel sent me a Blade action figure that I think he got when he ordered Full Moon Streaming a while back. But he had offered to send me a collection of the Puppet Master movies, and I, being loaded down with horror movies already, like an idiot, rejected him and just he was offering to send me a ton of movies, and I picked out a few, and he sent me those and a bunch of other things that I wasn't expecting, but didn't ask for Puppet Master, which I should have, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna buy a little. I found a Puppet Master like 1 through 6 box set with the first 3 Killjoy movies on it as well. I'm probably gonna buy that at some point.
Yes.
I might stop there, Mayor. But I know I saw that Dice Roland had done a series of like original versus sequel on like the first 3 Rec films. So I'm trying to watch those so I can watch that and their Things You Didn't Know video on that. I'm haven't seen all the movies that they've done for their reviews, and I'm trying to amend that so I can watch them because they are one of my favorite reviewers on YouTube. Oh, and yeah, on Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys, I may be watching either Puppet Master or Demonic Toys or both soon because Girly Gore is doing puppets and animatronic horror as her current series. So
Awesome.
ooh, new Puppet Master toys. I do have a little Blade figure, but that does sound cool. And yeah, I'm probably gonna have to stop here for the stream. Are you cool with that?
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. It's been a pleasure, and I always enjoy these whenever you do them.
Yeah. This was just going to be a quick little thing. I just haven't done a Hangout in a while, and I wanted to do one. So thank you, Cody, for talking with me.
Always a pleasure. And again, anytime you want to like discuss stuff or anything, I'm always around.
Yeah. And thank you to everybody who stopped by in the chat. It's been an absolute pleasure. I know about a ton of things I need to watch now, so I need to get on top of that. And yeah, so thank you to everybody for stopping by the stream. Bye.
Good night, everybody.